Hey, are you a solopreneur, self-employed person, or a small business owner? Do you know that some activities are worth $5, some activities are worth $10 per hour, some activities are worth 100, some activities are even 1,000 or $10,000 per hour? In this video, we will see the unknown true value of activities that the solopreneurs don't understand fully. Understanding these will make you, on the long term, potentially increase your profit 10x, 10 times. This is a chapter from the framework that allowed us to free 82% of working time, manage a business with 1 hour per day of owner working time, and multiply by 3.3 times the owner time value. And the benefits of knowing this is to know what to delegate and mathematically know uh, what to stop doing, what to do more of. And at the end of the video, we will also show you the how to implement this in your business so that right now in 1 week, you can maybe double your time worth per hour. But before I want to introduce myself, I'm Pietro Mappers from Success Mappers, and we help busy solopreneurs, self-employed people, and small business owner to make their business passive, to better manage their business with delegation systems and processes and business structure to make their business work without themselves. And the framework that we teach here on this channel, in this playlist or in the playlist below, is the framework that allowed us to free 82% of working time, manage a business with 1 hour per day working time, make a business mostly passive. Yeah, so as always, please subscribe, check the full playlist with easy to implement delegation tips and tricks and tools. I will show you now the true value of activities. It's something that you really must understand. Please stay with me till the end. I know it's long, you might be tired, you might be busy, but this is worth really a lot for you. The first step to understand the true value of activities is from the problem, understanding what we want to solve and clarify the problem that we are solving. People new to delegation on that are not delegating properly have not understood clearly the true monetary value of activities. We have a fixed amount of time in our life or in our business, and we can either spend it on $5 per hour activities or activities that are worth 100, 1,000, $10,000 per hour. And this is an example of the value of activities that we are doing. As you see, there is a curve. In the bottom left, there is the low value activities. And in the top right, there is the super, super high value activities. But we have a fixed amount of time. So as you see, the red box is the time that we can have. We can move the red box all on the right or on the left or keep it in the middle. But as you see, we cannot cover all the curve of the true value of activities. We need to decide, or better, we need to be able to focus our red box on the high value activities. It's not about deciding, because of course everyone wants to do. It's more about being able to do it. Most people are stuck with their red box in the bottom left. So understanding the true value of activities is helping you understand where you need to move your red box. As you see, this is an example of the red box on the left. As you see, you reach a limit of activity value that is around $90 per hour. For example, in reality, it can be much, much less, because most solopreneurs that do all by themselves, they are stuck in activities worth $10, $20 per hour maximum. And instead, this is the ideal for you. You can focus your red box on the maximum value activities that are worth from $100 to $9,000 per hour. And this is very interesting. There is also a orange box, as you see. The best delegator are able to focus their time only on the top 4 or 5 activities that are worth $9,000, $10,000 per hour. Is an example for Jeff Bezos, Elon Musk, all the billionaires that you know, they focus their red box on the higher part of the curve. And if they're able to not work much, it means that they were able to focus their time only on the top 4 or 5 activities. But how to do it? You can position your red box within the curve, but how can you position your red box on the top right and create also the orange box? I mean, the other videos of our framework that you can see in the playlist that you publish on YouTube that is free is below in the description. Those go into details in it. And also there is our full framework. But stay till the end to know how to see it. We will talk about it later. But stay till the end to know how to see it. Here we show you the light blue box. The light blue box is probably one of the first box that you need to delegate. Is usually delegated to assistant with low experience generalist assistants. And there is the green box. The green box is usually delegated to specialists or specialists with management skills. In the playlist, we talk more about the 7 entities of delegation, the 6 levels of delegation. But what I want you to understand here is the big picture. This is the graphical representation of your delegation. The blue box is delegated for someone for $5 to $10 per hour, probably. The green box is delegated to someone from 8 to 20, $30 per hour. But how do you define the value of the activities? Because now we understood why this is very important to understand the true value of activities so that we can focus our red box and orange box on there to make a lot of money while working less. But how can you position the activities on this curve? It's not necessarily that you need to position graphically, but you need to be able to define an amount of worth for each activity that can go from $2 per hour till 5, then 10, 100, 1,000, 10,000. So we will try to define that here. There are a few ways to define the true value of activities. There is a big list. If you want, you can pause the video. Stay till the end because we will define different examples for different activities. It's very important that you can see them so that you are aware of the possibilities. Okay, so we explained before the benefits of defining the value of activities. Now here we will explain to you how to define the value of activities. There are 5 ways that we can define them. Market defined by yourself, estimate a cost by yourself, estimate the return, ignore the cost and focus on efficient and evergreens, and the intuition and skills. So we define the 5 ways to define the value. The first way, market defined, is defining the value of activities by market cost. So if you're doing some activities, you're able to define them by role, department, or skills. You can check simply around the market. In the framework, we explain you how to do that, but simply define from what is the offer there. There are some roles that usually have a specific cost, market cost. So that's a way to do that. You can also create clusters. If you create clusters of activities of different role, there it gets more complex. In that case, the cost might be like the sum of the 2 different roles of the market, or maybe the highest one. Second way to define the value of activities is defined by yourself. Sometimes you can simply estimate the cost by yourself, especially if those are roles that are quite innovative or like custom made for your company, or if there are a cluster of activities or a cluster of roles and department. In that case, you needed to check maybe the market cost of one role, the market cost on the other role. And when you put them together, the market cost could probably be the highest one of the 2 or the sum of the 2. Probably it will be in this range. Another way to define the value of activities that is more complex and I don't suggest it necessarily, but sometimes it's necessary for very expensive roles, very important roles, surgical roles, or maybe like roles that have some skill that is super unique. In that case, you need to define the return in maybe 1 year, 2 year, 3 years, and you will need to expect maybe a cost of 10, 20, 30% of the return long term. But I highly, highly not suggest this because it gets too much complex. Sometimes this is necessary mostly when we want to estimate our owner activities. But I mean, this is about, we talk about this in our framework. I don't have time to talk about this. This is an advanced way to estimate the cost of your activities, especially your own manager activities, your own owner activities. But you can skip it for now if you want. Stay with me till the end because I will show you some example of this because I understand it's very complex explaining this way. At the end, we will talk about some examples, practical examples. Another way to estimate the value of activities is, fun enough, ignore the cost. If you delegate efficient processes, efficient roles, efficient clusters of tasks, efficient department, and you delegate them efficiently, or for example, if you delegate evergreens roles, evergreen tasks, you can ignore the cost because if they are truly efficient, necessarily for your company long term and evergreen, you need to do them anyway, no matter the cost. So you might be as well focusing on creating the best process possible and just delegate at the best market cost possible. So this is a way, ignore the cost. Sometimes we try to do a mix of this point and also the point number one, because in the point number one, we check the market value. So sometimes we create the processes, tasks, roles, and department based also on the market offer. So we see what is the price that the market is offering, and we try to create a process in, as in the point four, that is efficient and evergreen, where we can hire some people where the price, the market price is very good. As an example, I cannot explain too much and go too much into details. There is the framework and there is the playlist for that, as I repeat. And sometimes you can use intuition and skills. This is more advanced, of course, because you need experience and skills to estimate by intuition. But if you have a good framework, if you have good coaches, this is a good way to delegate. I mean, we see a lot of delegation types with our company, so that's one of our power. We have a lot of intuition and experience to understand how to delegate. Anyway, now we go into example for each activities. As I say at the end, stay till the end because we will show you how to get the free resources, how to see the framework for free, so that you can implement these things for free and see also some exclusive information that you are not seeing on YouTube. There is the playlist on YouTube that is the collection of some tools and tips and parts from our full framework. And there is also the link below in the description with the full framework, and you can opt in there and get the full information right now. Yeah, as I say here, stay with me till the end to get the full framework and understand it, how to get it for free. As I mentioned here also, this video is part of the delegation playlist on our channel, and check it out to know tools and tricks about delegation. And these tool tips and tricks are exactly from our framework. So you are able to see also the delegation framework that we suggest to our paying clients. Okay, $10 per hour generalist assistant task examples are like basic activities that one inexperienced individual in your company could be doing, like data collection, putting data in the spreadsheet, moving documents, filtering the emails, preparing, setting up, for example, a Zoom call before you have a Zoom call, or maybe correcting mistakes, grammar mistakes, or maybe like customer support. A lot of activities in this range, and also the price depends on where you're hiring the person. If you are this person in low cost of living countries, um, you can get these activities done for $3 per hour, for example. If you are in the USA, in Switzerland, or like Luxembourg, probably you need to pay a lot more, right? But this is an example of how much you can pay: $10, sometimes free, sometimes maximum 11, 12. And these are the activities that you need to avoid at all costs to be doing. If you do them, you're wasting your life. As simple as that. It's like such a pity that people do it over and over. You need to cluster these activities, especially if these activities are evergreen, not evolving, and delegate them. In the playlist, we explain exactly in other videos how to create evergreen processes, how to map processes, and delegate them. Also in our full framework, we do this most of the time, so you can see the full framework for more information. Is an example of $30 to $60 per hour activities are specialist tasks. As I said, sometimes specialist tasks can go much lower. If you are in low wage countries, you can pay them like $8, $7 per hour. But this is like an example of a self-management specialist role. Specialist tasks are, for example, you can take your company and think about what are the main activities for your company. So, for example, if you have an Amazon FBA business, um, a main activity could be like creating the listing. If you have like a coaching business, the main activity could be like creating the landing page, or coaching people, or being the salesman, for example. Um, or if you have like a rental business, the specialist task could be to manage all the inventory of rooms, all the inventory of homes, managing the prices, being like a generalist manager of your locations. If you have, for example, a digital marketing agency, a specialist task could be, for example, Facebook ads, the responsible person of YouTube ads, the responsible person for Google ads. This is a specialist task. And then, for example, this range could be expected also for department roles. So, for example, the person responsible for marketing, operations, or sales in any small company uh, could expect this range, but also lower. Depends a lot of the place where you're hiring. If you outsource to low cost country, you could get as low as $8 per hour, for example. And this range is also for small project directors, project managers, operations manager. So basically, people that are specialized in managing projects and operations. To sum it up, every time there is a project or a big operation involved, this might be the range. If you start to delegate, your first focus will be to focusing on these activities. First focus when you start your business, and then move to the next activities that I will show you now. $100 per hour. An example is example of these activities are all the activities where you are a specialist, as before, but in a very, very delicate position. So, for example, a lawyer is a specialist of law, but every small detail of his specialist has so much risk, liability, and power. So, for example, a lawyer or a doctor or a surgical doctor or accountant or a business consultant, they are specialists in their field, but being in their specialist department so delicate and important, the price per hour will be much, much higher. So a general specialist is a generalist assistant in a very specific topic that can manage the specific topic really well. A specialist of a specialist is a specialist in the hardest part of this department, this role. Your next step will be to focus here. So to be the best expert, the best accountant, the best doctor, the senior accountant, the senior business consultant, so that you can delegate to less experienced specialists the other activities that have less importance, less liability, that pay less. So every time you do in your company a specialist task that is delicate and more important, much more net profit will be gained from that activities, and so much more you need to pay for that activities. And I'm telling you, sometimes it's hard to understand these concepts. You understand slowly when you implement every delegation process in your company, every delegation part of our framework, for example, you slowly understand how to delegate and what you can expect to delegate at low cost or high cost. And you slowly delegate all those activities. You delegate the $10 per hour, $5 per hour, $20 per hour, $30 per hour, and then till you reach the delegation at the range of $100 per hour, for example. Then there are some activities that are worth $1,000 per hour. So, for example, if you're a business owner of a small company, probably the activities that you're doing are worth from $100 to $1,000 per hour. If your business is like big enough, if it's good. Examples of this are, for example, closing a big deal worth $20,000, for example, that has a 20% margin. So, for example, a big contract or a recurring contract or a big sale, like, for example, selling uh, big expensive machinery, or maybe selling a car that is worth um, $100,000. Yeah, if the margin, if for example it is a 20K deal, has 20% margin, and you put 4 working hours to sell that, including all the time that you used to make other sale that didn't conclude, in that case, your working time will be worth this amount. Depends a lot of the situation, but if you close a big deal, your working time could be worth maybe $1,000 per hour. Or maybe like working for this deal, if you're manufacturing something that is worth $20,000 and the margin is 20%, in that case, still your working time is paid so much. If you do an expensive painting and you are a celebrity, in that case, your working time is worth as much, but is worth as much only if you're not doing all the other working hours required to make the sale. So if, for example, you do this deal, but also you do bookkeeping, general assistant, customer care, managing the social pages, managing the Facebook ads, um, all the other things required to make the sale. In that case, your your owner working time is not $1,000. So focus also on the required working time. Here I mentioned 4 working hours. To be able to make this sale with 4 working hours, you need to be amazing at delegating. And this is the way that you make a lot of money. Or, for example, you earn so much money if you are managing full time a company that makes a yearly 2 million net profit uh, or increased net value per year. If you work full time, so 40 hours per week, and your company, for example, makes 15 million revenue, and out of those 15 million revenue, your net profit is 2 million. In that case, your working time for every hours is worth that amount. These are some examples. And then there is, for example, $10,000 per hour. In that case, you can take everything that we talked about before and multiply by 10. So if you sell a 200K deal, like a home, or maybe you are flipping businesses, or you're selling like a big contract, you are maybe the owner that is making the closing sale with the client, or maybe you are the salesman that is doing it as a closing sales. In that case, the working time will be worth $10,000 per hour. But the trick, as I said to you, is being able to do it in 4 working hours. If you needed to do at that location by car, it means that probably there is a lot of time while you drive that is not worth $10,000 per hour. In that case, you will need to delegate, for example, the driving, or you need to delegate uh, maybe while you drive, while your driver is driving you to the location, to be able to make another sales call while you do that. And to make $10,000 per hour net profit. Also, another example is uh, managing and directing a company full time that is making 20 million of net profit per year. So probably a company that is making 200 million revenue per year. Here I'm talking about very big numbers, but if, for example, you focus on increased net value, that is a metric that we talk about in the framework. I cannot talk too much about that. That case is more achievable because if you're able to increase your company value every year by 100K, indirectly you are increasing so much the value of your company and indirectly making so much money per hour. But it's getting so much complex. Now I will stop. Stay with me because at the end I will talk about how to implement this learning in your company. But as first exercise, right below in the comments, is very important exercise. Do it for yourself. Now I want you to take action because we talked about a lot of things in these slides, but it's very important to implement what you learn, implement it, take action. The easiest next step you need to do is to do this small exercise. Right below in the comment, the activities that you do that are worth the most and the activities that are worth the less. Commenting it in the YouTube, we will oblige you to think about it, understand, define the activities, write it down in a logical way so that your brain will be aware of what you need to stop doing and what you need to double on. This will be like such a small step, but if you do this step, you will be aware on what you do that is right, what you do that is wrong, what you should keep doing, and what you should stop doing. But remember, understanding the value of your activities is useful only if you also delegate the low value activities. So, of course, the exercise is great, do it, but remember also that after you defined this information, you need to start delegating. To learn how to free yourself from those activities and focus only on the high value activities, in description, there is the full framework link in two format. There is the free PDF that is like 40 pages probably. It's very long. You can check it, full of information, or there is the full training video. It is more than 1 hour explanation of our full framework that we implement for our paying clients. It's so valuable. So if you want to start delegate, do the exercise first, rewatch this video a couple of times, watch the playlist in the link below that is very, very valuable. And if you really want to go to the next step, check the full framework. It takes 1 hour and maybe 50 minutes maximum, but it will really change how you see delegation. So to wrap it up, start being aware of these things, of the activities you are doing, and define the true dollar amount that your working time is value at right now, so that you know where to start to get delegate. And to create this list, you can basically use Google Sheet, for example, or Microsoft Excel. Make a big list of everything that you are doing, and then you can give a estimated market value, and then you rank all of them by the most expensive and the lower expensive, and take the lower expensive and start delegating them. After doing all this work, prioritize where to delegate. I cannot explain you here how to prioritize. There is the free playlist and the full framework for that. So here a summary. To know how to delegate, use our free resources, the full free YouTube playlist in the yellow, and the full framework A to Z training video in the green. And the links are below. So you watched till the end. I'm so happy that you watched till the end. Now, please go implement what you learned with the free resources, or by yourself if you want. But of course, the free resources are are done for you, so you can take them and implement them. Please subscribe, like, and comment with your questions and suggestions, and what you liked, what you didn't like, what you don't agree, what you agree. It's very important for us, this, to stay motivated and have the motivation to keep making videos like this. And please tell me right now, what do you think is the average working time value that you have in your company? So, and please write me below how much do you think right now, on average, is your time worth in your company right now. The first step to being aware of these true value activities is to calculate your activity value right now. Please calculate it and write it below, and it will be the first step for you to improve this metric. And if you want more tools, more tricks about how to delegate your company, make it passive, and free your working time, check the full playlist in the description. Is free, full of valuable information from our full framework. And if you want to check the full framework, there will be a link below too. So go right into it. Don't waste step. Take action. It's very important that you take action. It is an inevitable step for your business success. Take it now.